Edwina making her second straight championship game appearance. Same goes Victoria, Ivy, and Fiona. Their final volleyball game in St. Mary's uniform, with first place on the line going up against St. Finbar. Up 1-0. Perfect placement by Edwina. Send it over. That made it 2-0. But the girls didn't do themselves any favor and made too many faults in a championship game. Lost a lot of crucial points early on in the set. Down 13-11, the ball gets dropped onto the girls' side. They manage to keep it alive, and Edwina sends it over. Other team can't hit it back. Girls now trail by a point. And then they would tie it up. Karina with a nice overhand hit to find the opening. Lands 13-13. But Edwina was not her sharpest in the first set. A few uncharacteristic plays by number 20. But she managed to shake it off. One thing the girls had to deal with was the hard hitting from the other team. Edwina did a great job all game with these things we call digs. When the other team hits it hard, you dig out the ball. So nice digs by Edwina. Karina then says, I dig that too. So she dug one out. Edwina over her head. St. Finbar puts it into the net. 7th, 8th grade girls started to gain some momentum. Britney on the serve. Miscommunication. That's an ace. And then more good net play. Fiona by the net finds a hole. Girls go up 18-16. But how do you stop this? You can't. Game tied once again, 18-18. Girls fell behind a few points, now down 21-19. Edwina set up nicely, but she hits her spike long. And then down 24-21 on set point. Viviana with a nice serve to the back row. But the girls probably gave themselves a point before the play ended. Ball comes back over. Ivy hesitates and can't get to it. Girls lose set 1, 25-21. We go to the second set. Britney gets her hands up to keep the play alive for Edwina, who bumps it over. Other team can't handle that one. Tied 4-4 early in set 2. More of the same from St. Finbar. You just hope they're not able to do this on every single play. No stopping that one. But the 7th, 8th grade girls would counter. They set up Edwina nicely, and she responds with a hit of her own. Then a super long rally where both teams refused to let the ball hit the ground. It was like this for the entire match that lasted over an hour. Not much separation between the two teams. Girls on both sides wanted it really bad. St. Finbar manages to pick up this point, and they take a 9-6 lead. There were a lot of these balls for both sides on the night. Nothing the girls can do as they dive desperately for the ball. Can't get to it. They call a timeout. Game was starting to slip away with the girls now down 4. But these girls are a resilient bunch. They came back and rolled a bunch of points. Fiona back to her old school serving. This one falls for an ace. We get the ace dance. Game tied at 11-11 on 11-11. Wow. Make a wish. Next point. Ivy set up for the hit. Not the hardest, but good enough because the other team can't get to it. Girls take a 1-point lead. Then the girls just exchange points. Edwina with a nice little love tap. Followed by another huge spike by St. Finbar. It was that kind of game. Nobody willing to give in. We go back to the digs. Edwina back to digging. Then she digs it again. Pops it up high for Britney to bump it over. Ball grazes the net and falls. Girls up 19-18. Karina was a little rusty to start the game on her serves, but she pulled it together down the stretch, puts a nice one here to pick up a point. Edwina tried to tack on, but the other team this time digs out her first hit. No problem. She'll try again. With some help from the net, she connects. That made it 22-19. And then Edwina added again. Gets all of this one. Big kill. 23-19. Girls looking good. 2 points away from going to a third set. But these 2 points were very hard to come by, as were most points on the night. St. Finbar right back in it. Their best server 3 straight times, picking up the ace. 7th, 8th graders had no answers, so they had to burn a timeout. Much different huddle this time. They needed a side out in the worst way, or they'd be going home with second place. Out of the timeout, another blast. Nothing you can really do there. So it was championship point for St. Finbar with their best server at the line. The girls catch a break. They stay alive on the long serve. Score now tied at 24. Next point. A lot of these plays for both sides. St. Finbar clips the net. The girls once again can't get to that one. They faced elimination once again. But St. Finbar faulted again on the serve, and this time the girls needed to take advantage and could not give the ball back. You can tell Edwina wanted this one bad. Look at her full extension to dive and save it. Viviana gets to it, and the girls go up 26-25. So now St. Mary's on set point. Viviana with a nice tip at the net. Just a long rally, but in the end the girls prevailed. Victoria bump. Viviana set. Edwina spike. 27-25. Girls tie the match up at a set apiece. So we go to a championship deciding third set. Serving was just on in the third. Karina with a nice one early on and then gets a little help from the net. Girls out to an early 4-1 lead. Victoria now on serve. Big loopy one. Hits the ground. She collects an ace. Girls began to run away with it and led 9-2. Next point, Victoria with the big save on the dig. Nice tip by Fiona, but here comes the big one. Oh, she hits it into the net. St. Mary's now up 10-2 and in control. But of course, St. Finbar would storm right back. They'd roll off a bunch of points. Ivy does a nice job on this dig, but she had to do it again, and there was no stopping the next one. Lead shrinking. More from their best hitter. Slams another one over the net to make it 12-9. Girls just clinging to a 3-point lead. And then we have controversy on a ball that appears to go long. The linesman ruled that it touched Victoria. Victoria, what did you think?
Why did you touch that ball?
I didn't touch it!
Have another look as we zoom in. Doesn't look like the ball touches her, but the call was reversed. And the girls now lead by only 2. But Tiffany pointed out after the game, the ball don't lie. Yes, she actually said something. Next serve, out of bounds. Girls up 13-10. Edwina now, up to serve to try to close it out for the 7th and 8th graders. First serve, yes. That made it 14-10. Now we go to championship point. Just an epic match. In the end, the St. Mary's girls prevail. 7th and 8th graders win in 3 sets over St. Finbar. They take home the championship.
Really excited. I think the whole match, blood pressure through the roof.
I'm feeling happy because this is our first championship we won, and I was nervous in the second set. I was about to cry the second set, and I was like, you know what, just get this over with. We're gonna lose anyways. I felt like, oh, this is over, but then, I had faith in my team, and we did it. Later on in the second set, I heard the two teams' crowds battling each other, so it was louder, and then I saw that they were still there for us, and we had a lot of support, and it was nice. No, I couldn't have dreamed of it when I was at the game, and I couldn't have dreamed of it last year because we weren't that good last year.
All right, so do you remember last year, you were at the championship game, and I told you that could be you next year. Do you remember that? Did you really believe that?
Not really.
Not really?
Hold up, I'm joining. We'll see you online.
From 2 different schools, and I just think that it's really great to see how they can interact in the games. I think it's nice to get to know the girls and watch them improve. It makes me happy because I feel like it's just great being there.
In the beginning of the season, we didn't really talk to each other. We just played volleyball and but we bonded a lot since then.
How does it feel to actually do an interview?
I'm really happy for them, especially their 8th grade team, so this is their last time playing together.
This year was a lot harder.
In the beginning, we won only 1 game. Had very little hope of even winning half the games. And a few years later, we won the championships. That's pretty amazing. Not everyone can say that they won a championship.
It was great, just seeing them along in the process and then giving them little pointers here and there so they can develop their natural skills into something greater to kind of bring together for the common goal. And again, the common goal was the championship, and we're definitely here.
I think we left a legacy. I like this team. Good team. Did a good job.
I definitely think they all have tools and good traits to get them started, and the sky's the limit.